okay, so I'm post Loveboat depression. It's like there's some either famous writer or somebody said something about like you get nostalgic about things you were never crazy about in the first place. That's kind of how I feel, and I knew it would happen, and I try to appreciate Loveboat as much as I could. But I find myself missing like even the bad times because it's over.
That's pretty interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just like something like that. I was trying to figure it out. Like, I don't know. I'm just like I can't think about it right now. You should say something, Tang.
What, post Love Boat
Yeah.
depression? I would say like being Love Boat, it's like a whole new world, kind of closed off, and because everything revolves around counselors. Like counselors, the government, and your people, sort of. But once Love Boat's finished, you just realize like you're back to where you were a month ago.
Yeah.
Like school's back, responsibilities are back, all your old hobbies, Facebooking every hour is back.
Yeah, I feel like all we had to worry about at Loveboat, all we really had to think about was getting up on time, club or KTV tonight, stuff like that. We just had no responsibilities. It didn't matter. We're here, we can spend money like crazy, spend our parents' money like crazy, just because we can. And I feel like in Taipei, as an ABC, whenever I come back, I feel like I live like a rock star. And that's not real life, but it is rather enjoyable in the short term.
Like when I was in Loveboat, I said I miss my freedom. Because back home, like I do whatever I want, whenever I want. If I want to go out at 10:30 and not be back till 3 o'clock at night, in the morning, it doesn't matter. But now, like back in Loveboat, you have to sneak out, and it's very strict and everything. But in a sense, it was a new type of freedom, whereas you didn't have like your normal worries. You don't
It's
have
like
to worry
high
about-
school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about paying taxes or laws. Well, like real life stuff.
Yeah, I feel like it's a different type of freedom also because you kind of have a guaranteed social life. Your friends are around you, and I don't know. You can always come home to that. I think the biggest part right now is since I don't really have a home of my own here, it's just that it's kind of accepting that we're not going to go back to Jantan and have like a room with our friends in it and people to talk to all the time. So it's a lot lonelier. Like last night when I went to room 18 and came back by myself in a cab. It was kind of a weird feeling, just taking a cab
It's like
alone.
real life, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how
Yeah.
it is when you are out of high school
I
or
know.
out of college.
Yeah.
Is like going home by yourself, taking a cab by yourself, going to the club by yourself, like that kind of thing. Like as opposed to traveling in a pack of 40.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, I guess part of why I'm down is just like the fact that I'm 25 and I can communicate with people in Chinese, but I just feel like in a way, like I read a book and I didn't like the book. It's called The Accidental Asian by Eric Liu, but he made a statement about comparing like the idea of him not like accepting his culture as the same thing as like Ken Griffey Jr. Not if Ken Griffey Jr. didn't want to play baseball, and like that was something that stuck with me, and I feel that way right now, and it's kind of hit me more that I'm like able to like I don't know I could be a lot more independent, fluent, and just able to function and thrive in Taiwan, and it's like my like heritage, but like I'm kind of just this like I can party like a rock star, but it's like I can't really talk to people very much, or not really I can't really like really move around here like I can in the States.
Yeah.
And so that's something that's frustrating to me, that I and then this 1 month, like I've learned a lot. Like, I mean, I came here a month and a half ago and I couldn't even tell the taxi driver. They were like, who are you staying with? And I couldn't even tell them in Chinese. But now I can like have a phone conversation with somebody. But at the same time, they'll make fun of my Chinese, but like, they can understand me. But like at the same time, it's like, that's such a small drop in the ocean, like of what I could be able to do if I didn't like waste all my time before. And so it's just like I feel actually even more responsibility now that I'm out. It's just like, well, are you going to do something with all this? And like, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like the biggest improvement in my Chinese would be like just confidence and like being comfortable using it. Because when I first got here, I mean, I feel like a lot of it's inside of me, but I'm just afraid. I'm self-conscious about speaking because I'm afraid people will either make fun of the way I talk or I won't be able to say certain words. But being here, like I feel like the best way to learn a language really is to just experience it and speak it. So the longer I'm here, the more comfortable I get using it, and it's not as awkward anymore.
I was trying to buy someone a beer the other day, and they thought I said, instead of picho, they thought I said picho, like a ball. I don't know what a picho is, what kind of ball that is. But
Leather ball.
I got angry.
Yeah,
A leather ball. But I mean, that's the kind of stuff that's like, it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
it's
funny.
like you got to be able to laugh at that. Like,
Yeah.
whatever.
Well, my experience, like, I don't know, because I speak Chinese with my parents, like every day. So coming here, communication wasn't even a problem. Although it felt different speaking Chinese to everyone around. You know, we would order anything, it's all in Chinese, which was a good change from like the usual English or where I live, French sometimes. I find myself losing my accent quite often because I hang around with a bunch of other ABCs,
Yeah.
like
No.
this guy here.
Mine's gotten worse too, though.
Yeah?
Mine wasn't
No,
good to begin with. Now
My
it's
my
awful.
accent got actually worse coming to Loveboat than improving. I don't know. They probably just hang out with a bunch of people who don't have the right accent. But nevertheless, you know, all those Chinese classes, I still learn a lot.
Yeah, me too. We had to write a lot of essays in the class I was in, and it reminded me of how much Chinese I actually know. It's a lot more than I thought I did, because we were just writing stuff, and I'm like, I actually know how to write. And yeah, it's like I said, like since I spoke Chinese until I was 3, I didn't speak any English until age 3. So my Chinese isn't terrible, and I still spoke it all the time to my grandparents and my parents at home, up until like the age of 13, I would say. So I feel like coming to Taiwan is like it's rediscovering that, it's tapping into that. Like, it's like a different consciousness almost, like
Yeah.
Asian self.
Yeah.
And
Well, for me, it was like coming back home, like a different home, because I was born here, but I immigrated when I was 4. But after spending like just 1 week here, it felt like home. It really did. Not the North American home, but the Asian home. So, like, it felt very at ease, for me anyways. And you know, if you go vacation, say if you go to Europe or you go to even just China, I could spend a month there, but I would still feel something's missing. But right now, I feel that I can live in Taipei probably another 10 years, no problem.
yeah, it's different coming here than anywhere else I've been on vacation, just because I know I have a network here. In a way, like I know my family's here to take care of me if I need them, and some of my friends come here on occasion, and it's really cool just like meeting up with them and then meeting their friends, a lot of whom don't speak English, and having to speak Chinese in a social environment instead of just to authority figures or to parents. It's very different. But I feel more comfortable here just because, I guess because I know I am Asian, and I have
more
that culture.
comfortable here than like in America,
Well,
like in Atlanta.
And I don't know. It's easier for me to come here than say New York, even though I feel very at home in New York because it
Yeah.
fits my personality. I guess I don't have as much of a network or support system there as I do here.
I don't know. I guess I guess I have a similar but then different background than you guys. Like I was born in the States, barely spoke. The only Chinese I hear at home is when my parents shout at each other, and so which is actually fairly often. So, but I don't know. Like I feel no problem at all traveling anywhere within the U.S. I'm from the South. I mean, other than like the South, I don't like traveling around that much because I feel like there's a lot of prejudice in certain places and it's kind of awkward. But like traveling to like a big city like San Francisco or New York is no problem at all. And then here it's like weird because I do also feel like there's a sense of at home in a weird way here. I guess it's just because I have so many family here, some family members. But I don't know, like I feel like I could like stay here for a while and like get kind of attached to it in a way.
Mm-hmm. I'm very attached to Taiwan. I think I had this moment yesterday outside of Sogo after my friend Helen left, because we've been friends since childhood and we didn't come together, but we've hung out pretty much the whole time. And she left to go to the airport and I was all by myself. And for once I didn't feel like walking around looking at things or shopping. So I just sat outside of New Sogo and watched traffic go by and the world go by. And I just, I feel like since I came to Taiwan to do Loveboat, now that it's over, I'm just gonna keep missing Loveboat or just missing that kind of freedom and lack of responsibility. And until I come back again and I'll start over again. But right now it's like, this is still a Loveboat era. It's just the tail end of it or the aftermath.
I do feel like, though, I mean, I think that's definitely a moment I felt too. But at the same time, it's sort of like any time I feel like you just sit around and watch traffic go by, you'll feel that way about a place. So I guess mine's more attached just to really, like, I don't know, there's like the idea of, like, I guess our roots or whatever, as sort of cheesy as that might sound, but just like, because like we all have so much. I mean, at least for me, I have so many more family members here than I do like actually in the States. Everyone's so spread out, and here it's like I can go visit this aunt and that aunt and someone else, my friend's aunt. Like there's a lot more a sense of family here, which is I feel there's more of a sense of family here.
Sense of family. Just the fact that you're safe. Or you always have something to lay back on.
Yeah, because my entire family lives in Taiwan, actually. Only my parents and my sister live in the States. So I've never known what it feels like to have family close at all.
No, just the fact you have so many connections here, whether it be like family, friends, nightlife connections, anything. It just feels so much more comfortable than maybe staying here again.
It's comfortable, but then, I mean, in a way, like, and this is a conversation I was having with a friend I made back in Taichung. He's a barista in this coffee shop, and he's a Taiwanese guy. He's 25 too, but he studied in Vancouver and Montreal for a couple years. And so anyway, he's seen a lot of the world. And he was just saying how, like, we were talking about like Taiwan being this really comfortable place, but it's such a small place. You know what I mean? It's such a, in the sort of ocean of the world, it's a very small fish. I think. I mean, it has the potential to become much bigger, but like, and it's sort of like, I don't know. There's like that other sense of like that false sense of security in a way, though. Like there's so much family, but then I don't know if it's false, but it's like one that I wonder about whether you have that security, but is it reality? Like, does that really mean, like, what does that mean to have that security here in the a grand scope of the world?
So like, what's the significance of Taiwan on like the world stage?
Yeah, like, I guess it's also just like, what's the significance of me, I don't know, just like being here, like figuring that out, like I don't know, just like, what does that mean? I'm getting inarticulate about it because that's sort of a question
As in like Taiwan versus the rest of the world?
Yeah, like, saying like, I guess it would just be how comfortable, like, what does it mean to feel comfortable here, to like reach a certain amount of success here as opposed to like me in New York? Which it's different. It's not just I want to only succeed in New York, or I only want to, it's just.
Well, I mean, we came here to visit, not to live. If you want to live in Taiwan, I think it's pretty hard. I mean, minimum salary here is like 100 NT an hour.
Yeah.
That's 350 back home.
ABCs here can make a lot of money though. I feel like ABCs have a lot of power. Like some of my friends, this is what I'm interested in doing for a year actually, is working at Princeton Review, teaching prep courses. It pays very well, and one of my really good friends works there. And basically, there's like a huge gap I feel like between rich and poor in Taiwan. But the people who are on the wealthier side, I would say they're pretty much like international jet setters. I mean, they actually shop in all these boutiques and buy things on a regular basis. But it's not just material things; like they travel a lot. And like I was telling my friend, I would love to be in Taipei during Chinese New Year, 10/10, and New Year's Eve, stuff like that. And he's like, but everybody goes out of town. He's like, I'm going to France, for Chinese New Year this year. And I'm like, I don't know. I feel like people here definitely travel a lot. So like they're successful and they live here, but I would say they're pretty worldly. So it's not. I don't think they're like isolating. It's not like an isolated island or sense of security. It's definitely just a place they happen to live, but they don't dwell here permanently.